All right, what is going on today, chat? Another day, another grade review. Episode 68. Jaw, welcome. RTS, welcome. Angel Bite, welcome. What is up? What is up? RTS, what's going on? Kevin, what's going on? Hopefully you guys are having a good Wednesday. And we are about to look at even more cards, go over some fun stuff planned for the rest of the month. Probably go over some cards that I picked up during last week's show. We'll see how it goes. I've been very, very busy trying to get to my goal of 8 shows this year, and it seems like I'm about to do that within 6 months. So, Eric, what's going on? I haven't even checked the tracking. Hopefully your Zard has made it home safe and sound, but I'm not too sure where it's at. I haven't checked that yet, but what's going on? Isaac, welcome. Finger, welcome. Give it a little bit here before we start grading some cards. Expecting it tomorrow? Okay, perfect. Perfect. All right, well, I think we're just going to get right into it, guys, so you guys don't have to keep waiting on me to figure out what on earth is going on. So if you guys are new, first, welcome. My name is Galaxy Gaming, and every Wednesday, we do what's called Grade Review. So the purpose of Grade Review is to help the community assess their cards on what they'd get as a PSA grade. I've been doing this for quite some time. I've been doing this every Wednesday. This is episode 68, so it kind of gives you an idea on how long I've been doing this. I've been assessing cards for a very long time. I've been grading since 2017. And so my objective is to help you guys absolutely for free on how to assess cards, what to look for when grading cards, because everyone and their mother is now used to or has the idea of what grading is, but not a lot of people really know coming into the hobby what you really need to look for. Because I've been seeing a ton of videos, I don't know if you guys have, but I've been seeing a ton of videos of people saying, you know, why is my card a 6? Or why did my card get a 5? This is BS. It's like, well, there was a major dent in the card. That's why I got a 6 or a 5. So we are going to go over everything you need to pay attention to, because it's not just simply go to GameStop, drop off your cards, and you're getting 10s. That's just not how it works. So my objective is to educate as much as I can and help you guys go through the grading process to ultimately either improve your collections or make you a little bit of money. So that is the goal. Braden, once I am done with this first submission, which is going to be first off by our man Frazzle, who is a pilot subscriber, I will make sure to go over in great detail how to submit. So I'm going to, every 5 cards that I review, I'm going to go over how to submit your cards. So we're just going to get right into it. Mike, how's it going, man? And if you guys need some further proof or further verification on what we do here, Mike is a frequent flyer. He comes here a lot. He is also a Discord subscriber, so he can kind of vouch for some of the work that we do here. Raquel, thank you for the heart me. Appreciate you. And I am also streaming on Twitch as well, so if you guys want a different viewing experience, the name is the same over on Twitch. And so we are just going to get right into it with this Gengar EX. So as a quick recap, there are 4 main grading criteria when looking at cards, which is going to be centering, corners, edges, and surface. So we're going to be looking at all 4 today. And we are going to start off with probably one of the biggest hits from Fire Red, Leaf Green, and is going to be the Gengar EX. Once I'm done with this person's submission, Trist, I'll make sure to go over how to submit your cards for a free grade review. So first off, we're going to look at the centering. So this picture is a little bit out of an angle. So one of the tools that we use is a little magnifying glass. So the centering, we're going to be looking at the silver border here. Some might be yellow, some might just be standard silver, but this one looks to be well centered. So far so good there. Corners also look really good. So centering and corners, very, very good. In addition, a crazy looking swirl here. So if you guys are new here, I am a big fan of the swirl pattern. Sometimes it does opt for a premium, but sometimes it doesn't. So it's kind of the eye of the beholder when trying to dictate value for a swirl. So really cool placement at that hand. Almost looks like he's using a shadow ball. It's very cool. But aside from that, the surface is extremely clean based off of what we are seeing. how long would you say the queue is? So the queue is posted every week in the Grade Review channel as a thread. So if you look at the episode 68 thread, you'll know exactly who's in the queue and how long the queue is for tonight. So as we flip it over on the back, we're going to use that same magnifying glass again, and we're going to look at these corners. So the corners, you can kind of start seeing a little bit of whitening rather, on these edges and corners. So even though the front was in extremely good condition from what we can see from this picture, the back is a little bit rougher. So we're going to have some decrease in points here on the corners and edges. Again, those subgrades all kind of get calculated into one larger average. So far, not looking too good. So we're looking at these edges. So pretty much all the edges are pretty whitened. But the surface itself is actually in pretty good shape. So I'm not too sure really what happened on these edges. It's actually really, really odd, because normally what I tend to see is if I see all four corners and all four edges whitened to this extreme, you normally see something really kind of sticking out, whether it be creases or major scratches, but the hollow itself looks really clean, to be quite honest with you. But it's really just the back that's holding this back. And this is probably one of the best cases / worst cases of the impact of whitening that I've probably seen on stream. And so this is a really good kind of lowest tier of this card primarily being impacted only by whitening. So with all four corners and all four edges, with this amount of whitening, I would probably say that we're in kind of like the LP to MP range, or light play or moderately play, but I'd probably lean more towards moderately play just due to the sheer significance of that whitening on all four corners and all four edges. So those edges are foily, it's silvery, not whitening. Yeah, I would still say that's pretty rough, to be quite honest with you. Because normally with silvering, it's a little bit more on the front than the back. But I would probably argue that most people, if they saw this in person, would probably lean more towards that LP or MP range, despite it not being, not being your fault at all, just to be completely transparent with you. And I would probably argue that PSA would probably say the same thing as well, because that is pretty significant in terms of if that is just purely silvering on the back. So again, you're probably looking more in like that LP mod play range. So I'd probably, if you're saying that it is just silvering, I would say that's probably anywhere between a 6 or a 5, to be quite honest with you. Because I don't see how, unless there's different angles that make it look less, or if PSA doesn't take it that much into account, that's kind of up in the air. But I'd probably argue at best a 6, but at worst a 5. But probably if it is silvering more on that 6 side, but who knows? It's the first time legitimately that I've ever seen silvering of that magnitude on the back of a card, and I have seen some silvering on certain cards get 7s, so that's kind of a good baseline, I would say, for that one specifically. So Gengar, we're just going to just make sure that I do this. It's fun. It's good. Thank you. All right. So the Gengar was 6 and 5. So next up is the Alakazam. Finally my cards will be graded. That's about time, huh, Chris? About time. It's so clean. Yeah, man. That's what I'm saying, Frazzle. That's why that one's honestly tough, to be quite honest with you. It's very tough. All right, next up is a base set 2 Alakazam. Centering on this is incredibly accurate. Basically, if your name isn't up NJ or NG, then you're not in the queue. And then if you click on where I left off last, just kind of line that up with where you submitted. That's the best way I can explain it to you. At least during stream. I don't want to take too much of everyone's time. So the Alakazam, centering looks really good. Corners look really good. Maybe a little bit of issue here on that top left side. So let's see. A little bit of dirt here on the bottom. Probably wipe that off. I mean, with the microfiber or some distilled water and a Q-tip. So not too worried about that per se. The surface looks really good from what I can tell. Maybe some scratches here towards the shoulder, kind of in this middle section where my mouse is, but I'm not too sure. But the surface looks really clean. And then on the back, let's take a look. So the back, a little bit of whitening on that top right side, as well as the top left corner. Let's see. So the left edge, a little bit of whitening there. And the other tool that I like to use, if you guys are new here, is I like to use this little pen tool. So I'll actually highlight some of these little whitened specks that I see. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. We have one here that might be a little bit of dust. I'm not too sure. TV, thank you for the follow. Appreciate that. A little bit there. Possibly a little bit there. Yeah, so very, very mild. Just from the whitening alone, I've seen these more of like 8s. And I would imagine that this one that's on the center of the card here, that to me looks like it could probably just be wiped off. You might have to confirm that for me, Frazzle. But that one on the actual surface of the back looks like you can just wipe that off. But I would say from what I see, the holo is extremely clean. Corners look great. Centering is good on the front and the back. It's just that mild whitening, but it's extremely mild. So I would say it's probably in that 8 range for sure. If this were mine, again, my good rule of thumb for vintage, like 8 or higher is a good rule of thumb as in terms of like a grading candidate. However, just double check to see, especially with how crazy the PSA prices are, just see like what the actual like the costs are on, you know, so if you submit this card and you submit it under the bulk tier and it's like $19 to ship, let's say $20 flat for insured. I'm not too sure how much this card goes for as a PSA 8, so it might not even be worth it, but I really don't know. But I'd probably say it's a good 8 contender. That's a really solid 8 in my opinion. And let me just respond back to that. So another thing I've been doing too, and you guys can kind of let me know if you've been through this, is I've been trying to get back into documenting what I think your cards are in the Discord. So if you guys like that feature, definitely let me know. Been trying to add that in to make it a little bit easier to track, just in case if you guys post your hits. And like I said, I will be going over how to submit these cards after. So we have 1, 2, 3, because we did the Alakazam, we did the Gengar. So we have Umbreon, Mewtwo, and Marshadow. So once I'm done with these 5, I'll be going over how to submit your cards. So definitely stay tuned. I appreciate you guys being patient. I just sent that card to PSA, the Alakazam, Megan. And if you guys are liking this stream so far, I'd really appreciate if you guys like or share or follow the live. It really does mean a lot. All hail the algorithm. That's what it likes the most. So next up, the Umbreon Gold Star. And if you guys want, I guess I've been saying this a lot. I really do think that Umbreon Gold Star is a really good card to be picking up here soon. I guess my crystal ball, my gut says that if they made the Umbreon Gold Star, there might be a chance that the Espeon Gold Star might be coming in, the 30th celebration. So not me to be a hype beast, but I think this is a good card to pick up. It's a solid card. It's a easily accessible Gold Star. It's Umbreon. It checks a lot of the good boxes, so it's a good card to pick up. Every time I see him, I try to pick him up. So let's take a look. So centering looks good. Corners look good. And like I said, for modern, it's really just centering and corners that really makes or breaks the 10s. And I don't think that this would 10. Let's see. Do you guys? Let me ask you guys. What do you think that I'm seeing right now that might prevent this thing from getting the 10? Let's see if you guys are paying attention here. Yeah, I agree, Mike. The 10s were going up, and the other card that's been going up that I posted about in the price discussion thread in the Discord is the birthday Pikachu's been going up a little bit too. That's another card to kind of look for. But I would say I probably wouldn't buy it because the spike has been very sudden. Yep, you guys got it. Is this top edge? So this top edge is, I don't know what that is. That almost looks like to me like a pack crimp of some kind because it's very like horizontal in nature and kind of goes across the top of the card. And there's almost like these little ridges. So these almost look like it's a pack crimp a little bit. And in addition to some whitening on the bottom. So I probably, man, this might even get like a 8 or a 7, depending on if that is an actual like severe pack crimp. Because I have seen some get 7s with that, with those pack crimp lines. So I'm not too sure, but I'd probably say that this wouldn't get the 10. So if you could, I would probably let this go as near mint, or to obviously just keep it if you really wanted to. But from a, I guess an ROI perspective, you're probably not going to be getting that 10 on that. That top is a little bit too rough. Next up, the Mewtwo V-Star. I don't know what the Japanese set is, but in English, this would be from Crown Zenith. Another set that I highly recommend looking at if you are a sealed collector. Crown Zenith is a really popular set. It's a really good example of sunsetting a generation of Sword and Shield. Had a lot of really good pull rates, had a lot of really good artwork, a lot of really good cards. So this one's definitely a good one to pick up if you haven't already, or just Crown Zenith in general. Once I'm done, Caden, and for the rest of you guys, I have 2 more cards, and I'll be going over how to submit your cards for a future giveaway or for a future grade review. So centering, it's really for Japanese specifically. It's always centering that's like the biggest issue because their quality control is so much better than it is in the States. So it does appear at first glance, not by much. This left side's a little bit thicker, but this is probably a good, I guess, example to show you guys if you've never seen it before on how to measure centering. And this is a very, obviously what I'm about to show is a very loose example because I am doing it through the snipping tool on Windows, so bear with me here. So what I like to do to make it really easy is I just take a transparent ruler and measure one side to start. So in this example, I'm just going to use the hash marks just to make them make it easier. I just pulled this card. Is it expensive? Are you talking about the Japanese version, Barack? Because I know I sold mine, I can't remember, it was like last week for like, I think it was either 150 or 165. It's definitely up there for sure. So on the left, it was 1, 2, 3, 4 tick marks on the left side, and then on the right side, try to line it up the best I can. So it could be from here to here. So that's 1, 2, 3.5 or so. So let's say that this is 3.5. So how you measure centering is, so we do 4 was the left side, and then 3.5 was the right. So we have 7.5. So how you measure centering is you do 4 divided by 7.5, which equals 53. So the 53 would be the ratio on the left side, and 47 would be the ratio on the right. So technically this is within the 55-45 of the PSA 10 contention. So far this is good. So the front looks good. The back, however, you might have some possible issues. I was kind of talking about it before. I may have just jinxed it. You do have some whitening there on the bottom right, and people might ask me, is that enough to really kind of make or break a 10? And this one, since it is a little bit more noticeable, I would probably say yes, that this would probably prevent the 10. So you might get that 9 instead. If it was a little bit less, you'd kind of be in that range of what I kind of like to call as a long distance 10 or a gambler's 10, where, you know, maybe if you submit it 10 times, 4 out of the 10 times, you might get the 10. But this one's a little bit too obvious to where I doubt you'd get the 10 because of that. And that's a really good example on the impact of whitening, is just that little bit of whitening right there would most likely prevent you from getting that 10. Again, it's a hard reality. A lot of people, you know, may even argue against it. But that's why I like to do these streams. A lot of people would simply submit that card to GameStop as an example and be wondering why they didn't get the 10. And that's the exact same reason why I like to do this. Trev, what's going on, man? Seems like it's been forever. It seemed like you come in and out like once a month. What's going on, brother? And the gifts, man. Been gone on a business trip and giving me the gifts. What up, brother? And then, like I said, guys, once I'm done with this Marshadow and Machamp, I will be going over how to submit your cards, so make sure to stick around for that. So, the centering on this bad boy, looking pretty good. Oh, definitely show me, Trev. I would definitely love to see if they gave you... Did they give you the OC or the miscut subgrade? So centering on this looks okay, from what I can tell. Because traditionally, they don't really consider this black section, the black line within the border, as part of the centering. So let's see. So I think this stuff is just more of like dust and particles kind of stuck onto the card, but nothing too crazy. A little bit of whitening there on the top. So I'd probably say, because we also have one speck down there as well. So maybe that one might be faint enough to where you could probably get away with it. But I think if that is whitening on the top left, as well as the bottom, I probably would say that it might not get the 10. You might get the 9, but just give me 1 second, guys. Alright, sorry about that. So yeah, I'd probably say it's probably be around a 9, would be my guess. Pikachu and Zard, did you, Chris? Okay. Oh, anytime, Frazzle. I appreciate you being a sub. I haven't gone... No, this was the first one that I've gone over so far, Chris. Just the Marshadow, because I start with the subscribers first. So I just finished Frazzle's, and now I'm moving on to Mike's. So I probably haven't. So if there are people still in the Twitch who are, or Twitch or TikTok, who are wondering how to submit your cards, just let me know, and I will be glad to go over that. Just want to make sure if you guys are still there or not. But while I'm waiting for a response... So those are really good cards by Frazzle. Thank you as always for being a sub. It really means a lot. And next up, we got the Moltres and Zapdos. We got the Meowth from the new Destined Rivals set. I forgot what the name of it is in Japan. And we have the Shining Mew. So super stoked for that. You could react. Yeah, so I'm trying to do it more to make it a little bit easier, because that way if people like respond back with like what they got for grades, it makes it a little bit easier to know like what I assessed your cards at. Because the Umbreon was... So if you guys like that, I'd be more than happy to keep doing it. It just takes a little bit for me to write it down and stream. So Umbreon was an 8. Mewtwo was a 9. It's a 9. And then the Machamp was a 9. YouTube stream. So I have, would you say my Zard is LP or MP? I haven't gotten to it quite yet. Right now I'm at Mike's. But if you're are you talking about the or no, that's Mike's anyway. Yeah, I haven't gotten to yours yet, Eric. All right, let's work on Mike's here. So the Moltres, Zapdos, and Articuno. Let's take a look. Centering looks good. Corners look good. No issues there. No, I do subscribers first and then non-subs. So you guys should be good. I haven't touched any of yours yet. Yeah, centering and corners. Honestly, man, this card looks really good. This might be a good 10 contender. I don't see any whitening on those corners at all. So I think you should be good there. That's an easy one. And then the Meowth, the Chibi Meowth. So corners look good. Edges look good. And if you guys want to do me a favor, the OGs, if you guys want to do me a favor and like the live, spread it a little bit. Appreciate that. The one, what did I send to you? Let me just deal with that real quick. Because I think I sent you, didn't I send you what I thought so let me say this, Eric, because I know that I think I sent you like the email of like during the grading kit. If I thought it was a PSA 6, it's LP. If I said it was a PSA 5, it's MP. But I just can't remember on the top of my head what was my actual like PSA grade. Sorry about that. I'm trying to do too many things at once. That was a Whatnot random pickup on the birds. Oh, nice. Dude, that's a really good pickup then. Yeah, so if it said 6, then I think it's LP. Because I think helping out that corner a little bit kind of bumped it a little bit. Yeah, centering looks good. Surface looks good. Corners look good. Again, I think we're still good, man. I think that's a really good 10 shot for sure. But it just sucks, man. It sucks like how expensive assessing or sending stuff to PSA is. I have some stuff that I'm preparing for a PSA submission myself, and it's just crazy how expensive it is right now. Center, man, the center on this bad boy is really good. I don't know where you're getting these cards from, but the Shining Mew is really good condition. Corners look great. The centering is perfect. Yeah, I would say just wipe off with this little bit of dust possibly and towards that bottom right side. But man, these cards are extremely clean, man. I would definitely submit these for sure. If you're trying to look for 10 plays, those are definitely some good submissions. For sure, for sure. Yeah, I think all three of them, the birds, the Meowth, and the Shining Mew, very, very clean. Alright. Next up, we got my man Wardy for the non-subs. And I don't know if you guys have heard about the new set coming out with the Mega Zard. Mew again, Whatnot. Meowth was from my from your connection in Japan. That's sick, Mike. That's super dope. Alright, so let's take a look at some Zardy boys. And this looks like it's not the secret rare. Some people do get confused sometimes with the secret rares. You always want to check the border is the easiest tell between it being gold. Yeah, dude, those are extremely clean, Mike. Extremely clean. So let's see. Yes. Yeah, I'm always just like, I really am so afraid that I'll like pick up one and like under assess or over assess, and I always just look at the border because I've seen some people do that to where they list it as, I think I've had that happen once where I was at a show and out of the kindness of my heart, because it was a friend of mine who was vending, I had to tell them that, yeah, you're listing the wrong mega, my friend. That is the secret, not the standard or the ultra rare. So I saved him a few bucks. I think he owed me dinner at that point. Okay, so this one is obviously very interesting in terms of centering. So we tried to look at the borders, right? And obviously it's all literally engulfed in flames, right? There's really not much we can really measure. There are parts like right here where my mouse is, as well as towards the right where almost like these thunderbolt-like patterns are. But another spot that you can kind of more or less try to line up centering as well, and I think it's the first time I've really brought it up, is using the energy symbol as like a point of reference. So if we kind of take a look here and do one of these bad boys. So I'll do this from time to time if I'm really struggling. So we'll kind of do this. And then this just, obviously, this isn't a direct, you know, one-to-one comparison, but that kind of proves the point a little bit. So if we do something like that, that'll kind of help you measure the border or the centering as well, with the energy being kind of a point of reference, at least on the right side. So you can kind of see that it's pretty well centered, comparing to this section and then this section. So that is pretty good. The surface looks great. No complaints there. But the back is going to be the big issue, unfortunately. So we kind of zoom in a little bit here. It is extremely whitened. Not a lot that we can really say or need to say on this one. Ton of whitening on the edges. We're already in like the light play or moderately played section. And I'd probably argue just from the whitening alone, that's pretty aggressive, because that's pretty much on all but the bottom is super aggressive. The bottom is a little bit, but the left side, the right side's really bad. The top, all four corners are pretty whitened, for sure. So we're kind of in that 6 to 5 range. I would probably, you know, this would probably be like as LP minus as you can possibly get. I don't really know how the surface looks on the front, just due to the nature of the picture. The back also is a little bit too hard to tell. A little bit off center. The top is pretty thick compared to the bottom, but it's within the range, especially on the back side. So I don't know. If I had this card in person and I would try to assess a condition, you know, I'd be very worried to list it as LP. So my gut would probably say more like MP, just due to the volume of that whitening. So I'd probably lean more towards a 5 than a 6. But if it got the 6, then, you know, your grader is probably in a good mood. But I'd probably lean more towards a 5 just due to the fact that the back is so whitened. All right, next up, we got the Salamence. And this is I haven't really talked about this, but this is a new collection goal of mine. I haven't shared it really, but I'm trying to collect all of like the old school EXs, starting from Gen 3. I have like a decent start so far, but definitely going to be collecting these moving forward, giving me something fun to do. So centering on this card looks good. We do see some scratches though. So we see some here, like we see 1, 2, 3. We see some above the stage 2. We see a lot kind of going on here. But the text looks fine. I don't know what this is. It almost looks like a little bit of red or something like that. That might be part of the foiling or whatnot. So I'm not gonna worry about that too much. But it's really just the scratches. So I'd say just off the bat, we're already kind of, just from the scratching alone, we're in kind of like the 8s as the best case scenario. And as we look on the back, we are seeing again some whitening, not nearly as bad as the Mega Charizard that we just saw. But the back, we have some issues. So we have a little bit of folding there in the top right. We also have some whitening here on that left side. Oh, I agree, Mike. I agree. That's why I really want to collect these EXs, dude. I just love this older artwork. And it's made by Arita. It's like when they were trying to mess around with like 3D modeling and stuff. Oh, they're so good. But anyway, a lot of whitening here on this left side, but the left edge is okay. A little bit more towards the bottom. Bottom left, a little bit of some whitening. Bottom edge. But this right edge is actually pretty good. So I'd probably, depending on how bad this corner is, I'd probably lean this more towards like a good LP. So probably anywhere from grading perspective, probably anywhere from like a 7 to a 6 for the Salamence. I probably, regardless, I probably wouldn't submit it to even try to get a 6 or a 7. Because I don't think, just because of that fold, you're probably leaning more towards like a 6 from like a grading perspective, would be my guess. So I'll probably just say that as a 6. But if best case scenario, if you did somehow get the 7 and they didn't weigh it as heavily or as harshly, then congratulations, I guess. But I'd probably lean more towards a 6 on that one because of the folding and some of those edges and corners. Okay, so the Vulcanian EX. Definitely thicker on that left side than compared to the right. So I think just right off the rip, I think your centering is really what's going to cost you. And you have a lot of whitening on the bottom, on this left edge. This definitely would not get the 10. Probably would get an 8, to be quite honest with you. Centering is not that good. We have some whitening issues on the bottom left, the bottom edge. So this probably would get the 8, in my opinion. So not too good, to be quite honest with you. All right, next up is Lucky with the Lovebirds. And I think this might be... What was that in Chinese, I think? The Latios, Latias in Chinese. But yeah, this is, let me just, you know what? Screw it, I can show you guys. Let's just do just chatting real quick. So this is what I was trying to do, what I was talking about with those EXs. So this is where I'm at. I'm just going to show you the binder. I don't know if you guys can see it, but... So that's where I'm at so far. So we got the Umbreon, Vaporeon, Flareon, Dusclops. And I picked up the Hitmonchan, the Electabuzz at the show this weekend. And the Shiftry. So I figured it'd be a fun thing to start collecting again. There really wasn't like a big collecting goal that I had. But that's what I started to pick up. Is like those old school EXs. So there you go. But anyway, back to the Lovebirds. So now, if everyone's neck is now turning to the right or to the left to try to look in this thing from the side, let's take a look at this bad boy. Centering looks okay. Top down, left, right looks fine. Texturing is incredible on these cards. And yeah, the centering, there's no whitening on those edges. That is an extremely clean copy of the Lovebirds for sure. Man, I'm really trying to... Maybe the only thing that I probably double check is just that left side or the top from our perspective. Might be a bit thicker than the bottom or the right, respectively. So I just double check that because it is at a little bit of an angle. And I don't want to give you a bad centering assessment, but the centering on the back looks great and there's no whitened corners. So I think that this would be a really good 10 contender. So after the card, what are your thoughts on the Chinese tag teams? I think it kind of goes into like this weird ebb and flow, right? Like when it kind of follows in very similar fashion where when English is too expensive, people move to Japanese. When Japanese is too expensive, they move to Korean or Chinese. I think right now a lot of people are moving towards Chinese because they're coming out with a lot of more accessible promos that are exclusive to China that are really, really good. So it kind of adds a little bit more of a desire to look at Chinese cards as a third option when compared to, because I think Korean, their cards were a lot cheaper, like the boxes were a lot cheaper, but a lot more accessible. So Chinese cards weren't really seen as such. But I think because of more of those promos are kind of coming out into the spotlight that are exclusive to Chinese, I think they're kind of third and like in third place and kind of knocking Korean cards into fourth in my assessment. But it's really, I think as you kind of go past Japanese, it's really just a cost savings, more so than a like a long-term investment, I guess. Okay, so Rayquaza GX, the alternate promo, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, so the A. So centering looks good, corners look good. It's a little bit fuzzy, so you have to kind of take that into account here, but the centering looks fantastic. A little bit of whitening there on the top though, probably wipe that off. But dude, a lot of these cards that you guys are sharing are just insanely good centering, like a lot of good 10 contenders. I think this one's no exception, to be quite honest with you. but very, very, very clean. It's because we've had the Lovebirds I assessed as a 10, the Rayquaza, like super clean, guys. You guys are making my job like extremely easy right now. So we got the Ray. Ooh. God, look at that fat swirl, chat. Look at this. Big fan of the fatty swirl. But I digress. Let's take a look at this bad boy. Alright, so a little bit thicker on the left side than compared to the right, but I think we're within that 55-45 range. Have a little bit of silvering on the top, so it's not going to be a 10 contender, but we're still in the 9s, just based off of that. So that's, you know, so far so good. I always like to say that I grade cards, you know, for vintage 8 or higher. So far we're still in that range. Surface still looks fine. Nothing sticking out to me on the text area. However, we do see some more angles of the holo specifically. We are seeing some print lines here. So we have 1, 2, at least 3 in this section. We have a little bit of a thumbprint possibly there. We have some weird stuff kind of stuck along the card. So we're kind of in that 9 to 8 range just with the scratching specifically. And as we flip it over, I think that 8 grade is a little bit more solid now. So the top right is fine. Top left, a little bit of whitening. But you do see more of the whitening more on that bottom left-hand side. So we see 1, 2, possibly 3. The surface looks good. We can kind of see that centering on the front side carrying over. We actually see what appears to be either a hair or some potential issues on that left side, right where my mouse is. So I'd probably say with the Sabrina's Gengar, I think this would be a pretty solid 8. Because I don't see anything wrong on this side other than the print lines and some thumbprints. And as a reminder, guys, if you do see some thumbprints, could one white speck make a card a 9 or no? Yes, it can, edits. We actually just went over, not just, but we went over one card that was like that not too long ago where it was flawless besides one white dot that was a little bit too noticeable, where, in my opinion, would probably get the 9. So yes, it can. It just depends on the severity of that one white dot. So yeah, that little thumbprint, definitely wipe that off as well. You can kind of see these little curved lines here right above where my mouse is, which appears to be thumbprints. So again, wiping those off is not considered alteration. Just be careful when you're doing it. You don't want to scratch it any further. All right, next up is Eric with the Leafeon and the Snorlax. So let's take a look. The Unigaba, the Derpy. Yeah, if you are new here, I'll actually just let me know if you want me to go over, if you want to submit your cards for a few, because I do this every Wednesday. Just let me know if you want me to go over it. Be more than happy to do so. So while I'm waiting for your response, I'll go over this Leafeon real quick. So centering looks good. Centering looks good. Corners look great. I do not see any print lines, which is good. So far, so good on that. And the same thing. Centering is good. No white in corners. Top right, top left, bottom right look fantastic. So I think that's a good 10 contender. So Leafeon. I think is that Eevee. Let's see what this Eevee looks like. I love this tag team, by the way. It's a great promo. Centering looks great. Corners look good. Again, I don't see anything whitening on the corners. Maybe there on the top left. Eric, so that might, depending on the severity of that, if I can see it, it might be a little too much for it to get the 10, but that might be not the case. So that top left corner has a little bit of whitening. but I think that's it based off of what I can tell, and just some fuzzies on the side here. So depending on if that is whitening, I'd say that's probably a long distance 10. I'll still kind of give you it just to kind of loosely, but I'd probably say I'll probably give you both 10 to probably a 9. So 10 to a 9 on that one, for sure. Let's see. So next up, we have, so we just finished Eric. So we have Clint. I do this for free. Yep, edits. That I do, my friend. And I'll just go over it just in case if anyone's wondering how to submit your cards for a free grade review, because it's a good time to do it before I start on Clint's. So, if you are watching me on Twitch, it's going to be in my description. If you're watching me on TikTok, it's going to be in my bio. And the Linktree link is in one of those areas. Once you go to my Linktree, you're going to click or tap the Discord icon. Once you're there, you're then going to go to the grade review channel and submit your cards for a free grade review. It is limited to 5 cards per person per stream. You can submit as many as you want, but I'll only review 5 cards per person per stream. In addition, it is first come, first serve. However, if you want your cards reviewed faster and want to support me as a content creator and try to make these streams better each week, I will also be offering subscriptions in the Discord starting at $4.99 a month, which not only gives you priority grade review, but also gives you an entry to a monthly Discord giveaway. And this month's Discord giveaway prize is a Breakpoint Check Lane Blister. So if you want to do that, that is how you do it. No way I just stumbled upon you when you're grading my cards. That's what I'm saying, Clint. Perfect timing, my friend. It's almost like you knew. You knew that when it was about to happen. So let's look at your Dark Alakazam. And it's nice that you're here, because if I do see anything, I might need to lean on you to clear up anything. So far, with this Dark Alakazam, the centering looks really good. Corners look great. The only thing that I'd probably ask you of is if there's any scratches in these darker spots that I really can't tell too well. But I can see that there really isn't anything in the lighter section, kind of like the spotlight. 151, thank you for the follow. Appreciate that. If you guys are enjoying yourself, make sure to like and share the live, or even follow the live wherever you're watching me from. I do appreciate it. But the front looks really good. Not seeing too much. I'll go over that real quick once I'm done with this Zard. Let's see. Possibly edits. You can check, like, if you look at the thread, you can see where I left off at, so you can kind of work your way down. So centering on this is actually really good. Salfie, thank you for the follow. Appreciate that. Nah, you're good, man. Centering looks great. Corners, top right corner looks really good. Top left corner looks really good. There's a little bit of whitening here, right where my mouse is, just to be transparent with you. So I see these little, what appears to be 2 little white specks there. But we'll keep kind of looking here. Bottom left corner looks good. I'll actually go over that here in a second. It's good that there's more people joining. Once I'm done with this Alakazam, I'll definitely let you guys know. A little bit of whitening here. What appears to be like a little bit of fuzz or something like that, so. But I'd say, you know, if this stuff is still stuck on there, you're probably looking at a 9. As long as you're telling me that there's no scratches on the Alakazam, you know, because those are going to be there, you know, when it gets encapsulated, that 1, 2, as well as here on that left, on that right side, as well as here by the P and the bottom P. But if those are not there, or if they weren't stuck on there, then you have a pretty good shot at 10. But just kind of keep that in mind, that if it does kind of come back as something not as desirable as like, so it comes back as a 9, that might be why. So just kind of keep that in the back of your head. All right, next up is Chris, who has a crazy submission. So 151, Selfie, and anyone else on TikTok who is wondering how to submit your cards for a free grade review, let me go over that real quickly for you. So all you have to do is in my bio, you should see my Linktree link. Once you click that, you're going to go up to the top here, and you're going to click or tap the Discord icon. Once you join the Discord, you're going to go to the grade review channel, and you're going to submit your cards there, both the front and the back. Again, it's a completely free service, but just make sure to follow the rules. So the pinned messages of that channel will tell you how to take your pictures, what background you need, lighting, stuff like that. So for example, you know, if you take a picture and it has like the card in the sleeve, I won't be able to review it because I won't know if the scratch is on the sleeve, or a top loader, for example. So just make sure to follow the pinned messages. Again, it's completely free. However, it is first come, first serve, and I'll only review up to 5 cards per person per stream. So you can submit as many as you want. You can submit 20, 30, however many you want, but I'll only review up to 5 per week. So if you want your cards assessed faster, because there is a little bit of a queue, the Discord also offers subscriptions starting at $4.99 a month, which not only gives you priority grade review, but also chances to enter in monthly Discord subscriber giveaways. So this month's giveaway, just as an example, is a Pokemon Breakpoint Check Lane Blister with the Pikachu promo. That's valued at around 80. And so you get that. You get a bunch of other perks as well, in addition to priority grade review. So if you want to support me as well, that is the way to do it. My dad bought the Pikachu for 20 a few years ago, and the Zard for 60. Well, your dad did an incredible job, because this card, A, is heavily faked, which is all the ponchos are very heavily faked, but I don't see any signs of this being fake. The texture looks fine. The colors look okay. The font looks fine. So this is a crazy pickup, Chris. I'm not even gonna lie to you. No, you don't need to. You don't need to. So yeah, let's assess this bad boy. This is a huge card. Centering is great. Corners are really good. Surface is really good. The back. What position is the queue for grading? So that is in the threads. So if you look at the threads, I post the queue there. Unfortunately, no Zard. It just makes it way easier because I go through a lot of these at each week, and putting it in the grade review channel just makes it more efficient. So apologies for that. I had an overhead lamp. Yeah, I mean, Chris, it looks fantastic, man. I really don't see anything majorly wrong with this card. The corners, I mean, there's no whitening on the corners. The surface looks fantastic, both on the front and the back. Yeah, if you still have this card, man, if it were me, I think you have a really good shot at pretty much, like, yeah, what you're saying. Anything above an 8 is Gucci. I mean, you said that your dad picked it up for $20, so I think it to me it looks legit. I don't see anything majorly wrong with it. That's a fantastic card. But I'd probably say I genuinely don't see anything weird with it. Like, I'm trying to find any reason to give it less than a 10. But I don't see any print line. Just based off the picture you sent, I don't see any print lines. I don't see anything wrong with the corners. I don't see any lifting. I don't see any edge wear. Yeah, I mean, it's good, man. I don't know what else to tell you. It's a great looking card. And then the Charizard GX. This one's around like a $400 card, if I remember right. It's like a $400 or $500 card. bottom heavy? Not really, man. The poncho, I think it's within, because it's at an angle. Normally I would measure it on stream, but I think you're within that 55-45 for sure. But since it's kind of at like a slight angle where the top part's kind of closer to us than the top, but that is an extremely clean copy. And if you're looking to get rid of it, Chris, you know who to hook up. Everyone loves ponchos, man, but that's sick. Congratulations. You gotta congratulate your dad, man. That's a sick pickup. Okay. Yeah, man. Well, if that ever happens, hit me up, man. I'd love to pick up a poncho. Are you kidding me? Centering on this looks great. Corners look good. Maybe a little bit of issues here on the top right. Zach, once I'm done with this Charizard GX, I'll go over it real quick. Centering looks good. Yeah, it's just that top right possibly, and maybe the bottom left. I'm not too sure. Let's see. So we do have a little bit of whitening towards that bottom right side. So right here, that bottom right corner. And we also have some weird kind of discoloration. It's not like the cardstock per se, but normally when there's a lot of light in one area and you just see it immediately dark in one side, that tends to tell me that there's some like kind of edge fold of some degree. And we also have some whitening here on the left side. So I'd probably say, you know, I probably wouldn't give it a 9 per se, because we have that little bit of whitening on this left edge and a little bit of whitening on this bottom right side. So you're probably within that like 9 to 8. We do also have some surface issues or surface scratches. Very, very minimal though, on the Pokeball. So I'd say probably within that like 9 to 8. Because I really don't know what this is on that right side. So that's kind of why I'm leaving it kind of loosey-goosey like that. So I'd probably say like anywhere 9 at best, 8 at worst. I don't see it going underneath a 7. Because 7s I've seen from PSA standards, and woof, they are something else. So Zach. So a quick recap, if you guys are watching me on TikTok, all you got to do is go to my link in my bio. Once you're at my link tree, just click or tap the Discord icon, and then go to the grade review channel. And then next, what you're going to do is you're going to submit your cards in the grade review channel. Completely free. It's a free service. Just make sure your cards are out of a sleeve or penny loader, top loader, or any of that, because I won't know if the scratch is on the plastic, top loader, blah, blah, blah. It is free, but it is first come, first serve with a minimum of 5 cards reviewed per person per stream. So just keep that in mind. And we do have a little bit of a queue. But if you want to be ahead of the queue, if you want priority, the Discord server does offer a subscription starting at $4.99 a month, which gives you not only priority grade review, but entries to Discord giveaways and some other cool prizes. This month's giveaway, which actually ends next week, is a Breakpoint blister with the Pikachu promo, assessed at 80. So that's exclusive to Discord subs. So if you find that good enough to sub, I'd appreciate that, but it's not required. But that's how you do it. All right, next is Jose with the Lilies Clefairy. So really, we just need those 2 pictures, and we should be good. So let's take a look. So Lilies Clefairy. Centering looks really good. Top, bottom, left, and right. Surface is fine. I mean, it's crazy. So that's good. I don't really need that picture. Corners look good. Maybe a little bit of, like, I'd probably say a long distance 10. We do have a little bit of whitening. Very, very minimal. So this is probably a really good example on kind of that long distance 10 candidate that I was kind of talking about. That top left-hand corner is so small that I've seen some with something very similar get 10s, and I've also seen some similar that got 9s. So that's why I like to kind of call it a long distance 10. However, the only other thing that I see kind of using the magnification here is I don't know if this on this right side is whitening or what, but that is a little concerning to me. So that might distance you from getting that 10. Some on the top right. Maybe like right here. I don't know if that's part of that binder or whatever is in the background, but I can kind of see what you're talking about as well, Byron. So I'd probably say with what for sure looks like a little bit of whitening, what possibly looks like whitening on the top right, and what appears to be whitening on this right side, you can kind of go a few ways. I would say like long distance 10 if it's just the top left corner, and then 9 if the other stuff is true. So I'd probably say, just to keep it safe, I'll probably just set it as a 10 to a 9. So just kind of keep that in mind as we kind of go through. So yeah, that looks like that is going to be it for the queue. So I am going to probably end it there. I have a lot of stuff I got to do for the side business. So got a lot of video editing I got to do. I still got to organize all my pickups. So probably going to end it there. So if you guys are new, I appreciate you stopping in. I do this every Wednesday. So if you want to follow me for episode 69, funny number, I will be back on Wednesday or even earlier, but I got a lot of videos to edit. I got a lot of inventory to update. So that's why I'm kind of cutting it a little bit early. I just had a show this weekend and I picked up a ton of stuff. So I got to inventory it all and process a bunch of stuff and do the boring stuff that would put everyone to sleep if I streamed it. So, as always, like I said, if you guys want to be entered in for the Breakpoint Check Lane Blister, so this is a monthly giveaway that I do for Discord subscribers only. Definitely check out the Discord subscription option if you want to. The cheapest option starts at $4.99 a month, and I'm trying to, the more subs we get, the better the prizes we'll get. So that's about it. So appreciate you guys hanging out with me tonight, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Maybe Monday, maybe Wednesday, I'm not too sure. Depends on how fast I get caught up. If I don't see you, have a good Memorial Day too.